You might be wondering, why is Royal Anwar Transcendence holding 3 balloons and what seems to be like a staff? What is he gonna talk about now? Is he gonna do another of those crazy videos and of those strange ones? Not really, honestly. All I'm doing is every video I'm just trying to incorporate some elements from Mother Earth and really just showing you a different perspective of what life is, because fundamentally we all came down here to live on this planet together as one civilization. And I just met this random guy, just this black dude. He was just walking around and he saw what I was doing and he just came and said hi. I was like, oh, what are you doing? I just said, I'm preparing to do a video. And he was like, what are you going to talk about? I was like, I don't know, I just I just have a feeling that I want to do a video, and then I get a few items together and then something comes through. But this one is, I'm just trying to incorporate a bit of like comedy into, like, everything I do is comedic anyway for entertainment. But this one was like really just because he came down, and initially I wanted to do it when it's going to be like nice and sunny and everything, but I was like, fuck it, I just had this feeling, I just wanted to come down here. And it was really because the universe was trying to create some synchronicity, because that gentleman was new to this area. He was just exploring, and then he came down, he was asking like, what is this light and everything. I was like, this are LED lights and everything. He was like, this is new to me. And because I chose to come and do my video at this moment, and there were some synchronicities, and before that I saw a few other signs and little signals and everything, I just wanted to come down. And then we had the chat. His name was Mike and everything, and he was like, is there a dead end on this street? I was like, no, you can keep going. So it was really just, we shared that experience, that moment together. And then had I not come down here to do my video, he wouldn't have seen me here, and he wouldn't have known about these lights and these cameras, about these balloons, and we just laughed about it. Still, he would have had a nice experience, but because I did what I did, I came here, made a choice, and it became more fun. Like, you know, we got to have a conversation, and he got to see another aspect, another cell within him, like what I look like inside of him, and then I got to see what that gentleman looks like within me, and it was just a fun experience. That's what fundamentally life is all about. Everything I'm doing on social media, is the way I present myself, it is all by my own architecture, design, and creation to be my own truest, purest, highest, darkest, and brightest self, using my own singularity, spiritual, ethereal energy, eternal light essence, that together make up what I call the transcendent self, or your own self, your own higher self, in a sense. Like, you know, I promised myself that I'm gonna be the darkest chaotic comedian with the dark chaos comedian active, and just do some fun stuff. And really, there is no other purpose for these balloons being in this video other than to show that the pyramid, like, you know, it has the Trinity itself, like the Holy Trinity, whatever you call it, because fundamentally everything I do, it always somehow comes back to these fucking motherfuckers, like to these transcendent beings, to these people like Yeshua, people like Muhammad, people like Babaji, people like Buddha, people like Lakshmi, people like Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, Lord, Brahman Supreme, and Prakriti and Aryan, and stuff like that. And I've been wondering, why is it that everything I do somehow automatically comes back to these people? Like, why is it that I'm so connected to the spiritual realm and all these spiritual beings, all these people who govern the whole universal cosmos? Like, why is it? And that's just me, you know, answering the questions about, like, why do I exist, and what is this whole thing, what is this whole reality, like, what is it all about, and why does Rod always never shut up about talking about self-transcendence? Why is he so obsessed about the mission that he has, which says, empowered every human to transcend themselves and live in joyful love, luminous light, and peaceful unity as the new earth evolved humanity, one cosmic family of infinite diversity, the eternal, one conscious, harmonious civilization. So now we got a purpose for these balloons, like new earth evolved humanity, one cosmic family of infinite diversity, the eternal, one conscious, harmonious civilization. This is what I refer to as, like, Mu Atlantis, MU Atlantis, Mu Atlantis Lemuria. It's just like, I just saw this vision of, like, in my dimensionless dimension of existence, like, I see everything as a singularity, as a singular being with infinite variety, with infinite diversity and everything. And if you really fundamentally observe everything, even though you think that this guy called Royal Anwar Transcendence is doing the talking and doing all of this, and he's gonna do some movements with that thing in a second, just to show off that he has some warrior, some combat skills, some from other lifetimes and everything, and all of that. And besides that, the whole point is like, it doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter if you're wanking, masturbating, or self-pleasuring yourself, you're a lady, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you swear at God or Allah. Ultimately, it's Allah or God, is Brahman Supreme, is Prakriti Transcendence, is the whole universal cosmos, is consciousness. At the end of the day, it's awareness, it's telepathy doing that to itself. Like, I'm not the doer of any actions that I do. Like, I had this dream vision where I was like masturbating, and I was just sitting like there, but there was this other thing bigger than me. There was like masturbating my penis. That was basically the absolute way of showing it. Hey, showing to me, like, that was one ways he showed me. It showed me like, hey, I am doing everything through you, so don't be trapped in this whole morality bullshit of thinking what is right, what is wrong, thinking the actions you take is right or wrong. It doesn't matter. The absolute doesn't give a fuck about what you do. All that matters is you have fun with yourself, you enjoy yourself, your own company, you know, heal whatever traumas and everything, whatever perceived traumas and everything you have. The perception of having trauma is the thing that causes trauma. The perception of time is the thing that causes time is an individual experience. So really fundamentally, when we realize that all that exists is the eternal now moment, this singularity present that we're in right now, it's like we completely forget the past and the present and the future, like the past, the present, and the future, and we remember that all that exists is this thing in the middle, this point. These three bubbles do not exist. They're just like, you know, this three like pyramids, these three diamonds emanating from a singular seed, which is just like that, and it's wrapped in a ribbon. This thing is wrapped in the ribbon of purity. Because fundamentally, when we choose to be purity, when we choose to be purity itself, that is when all the illusions of like traumas, wounds, and suffering and everything completely disintegrate within us. Even though we have the experiences, even though we have had the experiences, even though our ancestors have gone through a lot of traumas, a lot of suffering, their spiritual memory, their emotional memory, their mental memory, their physical memory, their financial memory, their architect memory, their creation memory, their transcendence memory, their source memories, their archangel memory, their guardian memory, their ascended master memory, as well as the memory of their own self, their own higher self, whatever you call that bullshit, as well as all those 13 dimensions together. We still have all that memories within us, within every cell, every atom of our being. And whenever we go through this awakening and everything, that's what I mean. Like, I had this so much awakening in the past 2 years and everything. Basically, the past 2020 and 21 prepared me for 2022, which was like the January and February and March, 3 months of so much intense awakening. Like, I was in the Battle of Karbala. Like, that's how old I am, and that's how I have memories. I have emotional connection and energy connection to the spiritual, the mental, emotional, physical, financial, all the main energy centers of the whole universal cosmos. In total, there are 13 Genesis, Inception, Genesis core energy centers in the whole universal cosmos, and each energy center is like a twice great center. It has 3 aspects to it. Again, it has an absolutely neutral aspect, that is an identityless character and a characterless identity, and then it has that is the singularity now, and then it has the eternal infinity on one side, and then the alpha omega on the other side. You could say that is pure awareness, that is pure consciousness, that is pure telepathy. You could say that is Brahman Supreme, Allah, God, Prakriti Transcendence, and in the middle we have like Shiva, Vishnu, Royal, and all the other stuff. So it's just different perspective of seeing how reality works and playing with it and having fun. And just being goofy, honestly, that's all it is. I do a lot of stupid shit intentionally just so I can have fun and experience life differently, but also because You know, when the goofball laughs, and just like Allah laughs, and whenever you're crying, Allah is crying, or God is crying. Whenever you're having sex, Allah is having sex. Whenever you're going downtown on your partner, Allah is going downtown on itself. So it's just so fascinating how this whole thing happens. And I was watching today this documentary called Return to Space, with Elon Musk and everything, like taking humanity, making it interplanetary, and it was really a very emotional experience for me. And I did some extra energy stuff, secret clandestine stuff, playing my part in it, and making a positive impact on the mission and all of that, like doing some, putting some systems on the spaceships so it can go up in the space, and then when it came down, all the other information from the space came down into the water, and we basically, it was Aurea, Mother Earth, going into space and experiencing itself from a different perspective. That's all it is, because I have already seen the end, what it looks like for humanity to become a singularity. You guys call it a social memory complex. I have been at the very end of time, which was the beginning of time, and I saw some cool shit happening. I saw some beings that died. We faked their death, because I'm talking about some spiritual beings, some prophets, some imams and everything, which was pretty cool. And I had the privilege, the honor of like putting water on his grave, on his graveless grave and everything. So it was a really deep spiritual experience and everything. And I've had so many dream visions, I've been basically blessed with so many visions about the prophets and all of that, about their life, about how the universe works and everything, that I just like couldn't keep my fucking mouth shut. I just had to like draw everything out and release it to the public and show what it looks like behind the scenes, the backbone platform, the spiritual ethereal energy, eternal infinite light essence behind the scenes, like how it all looks like underneath. And maybe some of it was intentional, some of it was unintentional. Maybe I was just trying to cause some trouble and force the ancestors to really end this whole fucking bullshit about this cosmic war and everything, because I saw what the end looks like if we keep going, like if all of us keep fighting here on Earth, and it just never ends. It all goes to a place where we all drop into this fire pit of like fucking hell, because we all just like disintegrate and go backwards so much, in a sense that we stop evolving and we are devolving. The ascendancy stops and descendance starts, and when that happens, there is no transcendence. Without transcending, we will still be fucking in caves, and no fucking shit would happen, and you wouldn't be able to be here and watch me show off some of my moves and everything. There are certain patterns, certain moves here that it just somehow is natural to me. It's just like I have emotional memory, I have muscle memory basically, or spiritual memory and energetic memory that is within me, that is doing things like this, that I really don't think about it at all. It just happens. It just fucking happens. And that's what I mean. Like, you have lived so many lifetimes. You have lived probably thousands and thousands. Some of us have lived, I've lived so many lifetimes that my hair has grown white, many white hairs in this lifetime. Because think of it like this. This lifetime that you're living right now, this is your singularity. It doesn't matter which other planets you are. It doesn't matter. You exist in infinite realities.